I'll call the Finance Committee meeting to order. We don't have any public comments, so we'll get right into contracts for approval. Mr. Dahlberg?
Okay, we have a lot of contracts this month. A through G are all Kids Piece or Learn Well. First one's Kids Piece, the rest are Learn Well. They're all tutoring services for children that are placed in medical facilities. H is the annual IEP writer subscription renewal, $18,267. This year, that cost is $18,258, so it's up $9. We also have the web module renewal, cost is $38.06, which is up, current price is $37.31. And that's a ongoing. Each year we renew that subscription to the IEP writer and the web module. The next contract I is the annual contract with the tech school. This is probably our 4th year for this contract, and we basically share services for the food service director. So Mrs. Geritana goes up to the VOTEC and provides that service as the food service director. There has to be a director overseeing the program. There's a cafeteria manager there and a few workers, so she oversees that program. And the VOTEC school pays the district $10,000, and Gina has an extra stipend that she gets for doing that work. J is the Lehigh Valley University for the junior prom class of 2021. So this will be prom next April for the next year's junior class. $2,150 facility fee cost plus $2,500 service deposit. We looked up last year's cost, and overall cost was between $10,000 and $11,000 total for the junior class prom. The next one is a settlement agreement for student identified as 2019-44. The next contract is Sweet Stevens, Katz, and Williams. This is the legal services consultation agreement for next year, 19-20 years, $12,000, and that's the same fee that they charge us this year for the retainer services. The next two contracts are Johnson Controls. M is HVAC and Controls, annual contract of $124,215. This is 14 individual contracts for all of our buildings. Correct. For the controls and the HVAC units within those buildings. N is the Johnson Controls Access Controls and CCTV annual contract for $31,920. O is Kids Piece. Again, this is tutorial services for a student in a medical facility. P is Delta Dental. No, not Delta Dental, Delta School. This is an extended year program for the student identified as 2019-47. For this coming summer, $200 per day, $5,400 for the summer for the student for the extended school year program. And Q is Learn Well. This is another tutorial service for a student that's in a medical facility. So that is all the contracts.
Okay, any questions from anyone? Go
Me?
ahead.
Okay, just a couple. Let me clear this. I want to step back to the Lehigh University for a moment for the junior prom.
Sure.
Okay. So when I took a look at this, and maybe you can step me through this. Go ahead. Get yourself together. Okay. So, just a couple of points on this. I don't see any other charges on this clarified other than the officers' fees. There's an event supervisor scheduled for head counts more than 200. There's 2 event supervisors. So I imagine that's double. And we're going to have 1 uniformed officer and 1 non-uniformed. And this charge is billed at prevailing rate at the time of the event. So are the officers in addition to the supervisors? So when I back up to here, there's an $18 charge per supervisor per hour, minimum 3 hours. 200 or more will have 2 supervisors. All proms and formals will require 1 uniformed officer and 1 non-uniformed officer, and that's going to be charged at prevailing rate at the time of the event. So we don't have, there's no cap on that. Whatever the prevailing rate is. Any thought on what that might be? Was a question.
I can tell you, last year, we spent $184.50 on the event supervisor, $903 on the campus police, and the catering then was $6,800.
Okay.
And a catering service charge of just over $1,000.
Okay. Because that's not anywhere on here. So this is just to hold the venue.
Yep.
Okay, and they're asking for a facility fee of $2,100, but yet they want a deposit of $2,500.
$2,500. Yeah, 20.
So they want more than the total fee.
The $2,100 is for the facility,
right?
And the $2,500 is deposit for the rest of the services.
Okay, that's not clear. Okay, thank you.
And is that returned, or is that something?
It's a credit towards what they pay.
So it is returned if it isn't
yeah,
misused, so to speak.
Right.
Okay.
Right. But last year their catering alone was $6,800, so they were going to use up the $2,500 plus.
This buggers like to eat. Okay. And the Johnson Controls, there's a lot of individual I'm looking at. There's a ton of individuals, and I'm assuming what you gave us was the total.
Yeah, I gave you the total of all those
Yeah.
individual building contracts.
Okay.
So that you could see what the total cost was.
Gotcha.
Mr. Harper, that's a large number, right? The 124,000. So could you just explain to the board what those contracts in M and N are covering, since they both say Johnson? I know they're different things. You helped me through this afternoon. So could you help the board through what that's providing for all those contracts?
Right, I'll actually jump to N first. N isn't one that we necessarily touched on this afternoon. N has to do with our camera system. We installed a large number of cameras. I was just trying to count. There's 19 pages in a spreadsheet that totals up all the cameras we have throughout the district. This is the preventive maintenance of the cameras, the servers, and the interconnectivity of that and functionality. Any questions about that? That's what that is. That's preventive maintenance for the cameras, servers, and all those sort of things.
So when we say preventive maintenance for cameras and servers, what are we really talking about?
So every building has its own server with hard drives that's networked back to a central platform, ExactVision. So it's maintaining the license on the ExactVision server that allows them to do troubleshooting, upgrades of the software. There's client software on many computers. This touches all those things. So when we need service, the preventive maintenance will take care of that.
Okay.
And it's cleaning of lenses. If a camera's out of focus, they'll come and refocus it. It's a blanket thing. Since we have so many cameras, if we don't maintain them, you're always subject to, we get questions all the time. With footage of this, what happened in the Audion this afternoon, there was an altercation. People go back and look at that video, but it's not functioning. People often use the camera system as a personnel replacement because you can't always have the right people at the right places. It's an important system to maintain.
So will they be in on a regular basis to clean lenses, or I'm a little...
I believe there's a schedule of services. I don't know if it's allocated of a number, but it's a preventive maintenance of gonna say 13 servers throughout the district
Okay,
and hundreds of cameras
and, okay.
that are
And,
now out of warranty,
And it's 32,000?
32,000.
Yeah.
There's
And how
also-
often do we use their, like, how often do they come in and?
well, that's what I'm looking at.
So I can tell you since I've been here, I've called them in at least a half a dozen times for non-functional cameras, cameras that aren't recording. Diane's probably had similar experiences with that as well, that it adds up. And I'm gonna estimate and say we spent no less than $5,000 just for simple service calls for these kinds of things. And this is making sure the hard drive integrity, all those kind of things, and especially the service license, that has to be maintained every year, or when they call for technical support, they don't have it.
I understand the licensing fees associated with the application running on the servers and the background. Do we know how many individual licenses we're paying for on clients?
I don't have the answer to that. This, unless Diane
You,
knows.
that's why I'm looking down the end of the table.
So the client's actually free,
Okay,
so it's the camera that's licensed. Anybody can actually download the client for free.
okay,
But you have to be able to connect to our system, so.
agreed.
Yes.
And we have that under control, so only certain people can do that, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So basically, you're looking at $33,000 for 11 buildings, and $3,000 a building, basically.
Yeah, that's what,
Okay.
yep. And I can see that this includes,
That was a big thing. I think it was under 700, 670. And 14 servers.
mhm.
And you
Yeah.
said the cameras are out of warranty.
Everything, that's my understanding.
They are
Every-
now, yeah.
Every device we have, I don't know about the server, but the cameras themselves are not under warranty any longer.
Yeah, no, it's, okay.
Any other questions
No.
about N?
Nope. Not
Okay,
for me.
so that was the easier one. So M is.
Is that why you went to that one first?
Yeah, I wanted to knock that off and move on to the other one. So M is HVAC controls and equipment. This is something that my understanding is we've had 3-year contracts on this for some time because the vendor's a good vendor, it's Johnson Controls. Johnson Controls, I would say, is more of the parent company. They recently bought Simplex Grinnell and some others in York. So the systems that we have here, we have Metasys as controls. That is proprietary. They are the only ones that can service that. It is a good control system. I know proprietary gets a bad rap, just the term in general. But the other side of that coin is, it's proprietary for a reason. It's a really good control system and it's protecting their licensing and their product. To me, that's one of the top 2 control systems that you can have. That's what we have. They have to maintain it. There's not really a choice with that. The HVAC portion of this, I believe, is about 40 to 45% of this total, and that's the equipment part. So equipment meaning they don't touch every system in every building. It's only 4 major buildings, the high school being one. If you look at the individual contracts, mechanical equipment alone is $29,000 for service here. These are York chillers. They're specialized equipment. I'm not saying someone else can't work on it, but these are skilled, trained union employees. They have to get updates in classes on a regular basis. You get what you pay for things like this. I believe they're 2 850-ton chillers, cooling towers, pumps.
So they're small ones.
I would say these are the right people to work on that. They're at the 3 middle schools overall. So there's 3 middle schools in the high school that this contract applies to. It does not apply to any elementary school. It's only middle and high. And of those 4 locations, 70% of the equipment, at least dollar value wise, is York equipment. There's some Train and there is some Carrier, but that's the minority. They still work on that, but Train is or York rather, sorry, is the biggest 70% component of the contracts you see here. So I think you get a good value for having JCI, York, trained technicians work on our big equipment here. It maintains longevity, it's really preventative maintenance, startup, shutdown, and a block of service hours as needed that I verified we do use that time. And we get a discounted rate by prepaying it. So, those long questions.
No, thank you.
That makes sense.
It is a big dollar amount. I wanted to make sure we're getting value for it, and my homework is showing they are the right people for the job. It is a big number, but the controls are really good controls, works good equipment, and these guys do a great job servicing it.
Well, I think what you're saying is we don't have a choice anyway, right? They're the only ones who we can use for that equipment.
For controls, yes.
So, I mean, in that sense, they can charge us whatever they want because they don't have any competitors.
But they give us a discount rate.
Discount from what?
By getting this 3-year service contract, we're locking in a fixed amount for 3 years. I believe we're getting a 20% discount on their block hour rate, as if we were just to call them up today. By prepaying, we get that discounted service rate per hour. And again, we're getting trained union, I believe they're steam fitters that they know what they're doing. They fix it right the first time. It's a lot about reliability, and you get what you pay for.
Questions?
No. I'm
Okay.
good. Thank you.
Well,
So is everyone good with moving those forward to the board meeting?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, then we'll go on to the general fund budget review.
All right.
Pupil services.
So, yeah, we got pupil services up first. So Sherry's gonna talk about her budget tonight. And